Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. 120,000 veterans impacted negatively by the VA and the process in which we file claims. Are you one of them? You could be. You could have been. Look, there's many different ways that the VA has negatively impacted, and I don't believe it's intentional. I think it's just being neglectful. So there's many ways that we're impacted, whether it's your back pay is not calculated correctly and you don't catch it because you don't really know what to look for because you believe the VA is just going to do it right. Or maybe you filed a claim and it's just taken a very long time to process because the VA just kind of misplaced it. There could be all kinds of different things. So I found an article and I want to go through it with you here, basically touching on this very subject and what the VA is actually planning to do to address some of it. So with that, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all of that good stuff. It really helps the channel out a lot. And look, the way I view this is that we need to take care of each other. And one way to do that is to make sure that this information gets into the hands of those that need it. How can we do that collectively? Is the question. How we do that is two ways. Hitting the thumbs up tells YouTube to pass it on to another veteran or spouse, right? The other way is letting the video run ideally through its entirety because then it tells YouTube this is useful information. And again, it helps push it into the hands of other vets or spouses or what have you. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into it. The headline here is VA outlines fixes to va.gov errors impacting benefits for more than 120,000 veterans. Now, I'm going to stop right there because this piece is kind of an important little side note. If you utilize, and I'm a fan, this is just my own personal belief, right? I'm a fan of you educating yourself, understanding what the nuances are, and working with an accredited representative to help file your claim, that second set of eyes, but you also understand what you're putting together and what you need to do. And that way, you're kind of hitting it from both angles. And ideally, the accredited representative has what they call a PIV card, and they can access the VA system and peek into the VA system for your benefit. It's a good method and it's a good way to approach it, in my opinion. There are other people out there that talk about, hey, look, go it alone, do it yourself. You don't need to work with anybody. You can figure it out. And what are you going to do? You're going to file it through va.gov. Well, look, va.gov, right, has errors impacting the benefits for more than 120,000 veterans. So, sounds great, right? Do it yourself. Do it yourself. Go to va.gov. You can file it yourself. Well, now there's 120,000 veterans that have been identified so far that have been negatively impacted because they went it alone. That's my opinion, right? Anyway, so let's jump into it here. I appreciate your viewing of this. All right, so the Department of Veterans Affairs is outlining plans to conduct a full review of its website after discovering technical problems that may have affected disability claims for more than 100,000 veterans. VA officials said in September, the department uncovered two technical issues with va.gov that led to delays for some veterans who tried to update their dependency status or file disability claims, appeals online. So look, you're trying to file your appeal because you disagree and somehow that gets all screwed up, or you're either adding a dependent or you're trying to take a dependent off. If you're trying to take a dependent off of your VA disability compensation, well, guess what? If the VA keeps paying you, well, you're working basically into a debt. The VA eventually will say, well, you didn't have a dependent and you knew you didn't have a dependent and now we want our money back. So here you are, right? You tried to do it yourself and look what happened. It's not that you're not competent. It's that the VA systems aren't that reliable and sometimes you need other sets of eyes peeking in to make sure that things are happening. Anyway, moving on, the department initially estimated the IT issues may have affected the disability claims for nearly 57,000 veterans, but members of the House VA's committee's Technology Modernization Subcommittee, said Monday that the website issues impacted more than 120,000 veterans. It's a big number. That includes veterans impacted by additional VA.gov issues discovered earlier this year. Now, hang on with me. Keep watching if you're still on, because we might uncover some sort of nuggets, things that you could pass on to others, or things that you may need to know as well. So I don't know how to say this guy's name. Last name, it's Delbene, I think. It's Delbene. So his first name is Kurt. So Kurt Delbene, or however you say it, the Assistant Secretary for Information and Technology and VA's Chief Information Officer, told lawmakers that the VA has implemented a Code Yellow process to ensure that the department can monitor for potential issues on its website. So Delbene said work underway with Code Yellow will ensure VA employees know about any significant IT issues on va.gov within 24 hours. And you would think they would already have some sort of something up for that. Delbene said that so far, VA under Code Yellow has consolidated 56 automatic monitors into one unified watchtower, where the health of the va.gov can be discerned in a single place. And even that's concerning to me, that they didn't have some sort of a dashboard. They had 56, apparently, different ways to look at things, or to see what's going on with the health of the website and all its different functions. You would have thought that with the price tag that they pay out for their IT, that they would have had some sort of a dashboard to be able to watch this, because va.gov is such a critical component to the VA's whole existence. It is the interface between you, the veteran, and the VA. So it just baffles me that they just now are doing that. Anyway, moving on. At this point, 80% of va.gov's most important features are monitored. Delbene said VA will complete automatic monitoring of the site's top features by the end of the first quarter of fiscal year 2024. That's also concerning, because you would think that more than 80% of VA's most important features would have already been monitored. And so that's a bit ridiculous as well. I'm a little bit, I don't know. I'm frustrated, because I see these gigantic price tags for the IT that VA has, and what we as veterans are getting in return. What are we getting in return? We're getting, they're just now putting together a dashboard of 56 things to be able to actually monitor it. What we're getting is, 80%, like a strong C plus, maybe a B minus of the most important features are being monitored. It's dumb. All right, moving on. Delbene said va.gov is the department's digital front door for veterans. No kidding. And that veterans need to have confidence their benefits and services are available, accurate, and secure. No kidding. va.gov receives about 14 million unique user searches or users each month. That's big, 14 million. The VA Chief Technology Officer Charles Worthington said the Watchtower efforts will reduce the chance of major IT errors from occurring on the site again. We are designing it so that we have more confidence in the specific health of any given feature at any given time, because va.gov is such an expansive product with so many aspects. This will give us a way to know more proactively if there's an issue happening impacting one of those features, Worthington said. VA's top IT officials told the subcommittee in September that warning bells didn't sound when va.gov experienced problems this year, leading to a delayed response to address the issue. While VA OIT is prioritizing automatic monitors for va.gov's top features, Worthington said it will eventually roll this feature out to all va.gov services. As we expand the Watchtower to include all the features, we may find other things that would be the hope is what we would... let me try that again. As we expand the Watchtower to include all the features, we may find other things that would be the hope is that we do find them. Okay, whatever. So it's a jumbly sentence. Find them so we can fix them. bottom line is that they're hoping that as they're doing things, they find other issues that they can correct along the way. Subcommittee Chairman Matt Rosendale, Rosendale, not sure, said he's introducing the VA Watching Over Electronic Benefits Act to ensure VA's Watchtower efforts work as intended. Mistakes are bound to happen, but it is unacceptable that some of these errors persisted for years before anyone discovered them. And I'll say that from what I remember, I did a little on this, I don't know, a month ago or so. And if I remember right, some of this stuff stretched back like a decade, 10 or 12 years. It's pretty horrific. Rosendale urged the VA to be more proactive in conducting or contacting impacted veterans and offering them help, adding that many of these veterans and survivors depend on their VA benefits for most or all of their income. We all need to be confident that the errors in va.gov and other systems will never again be allowed to compound undetected and impact so many people, he said. And I agree. The VA secretary, in a letter to the full committee, wrote that the department is taking immediate steps to prevent issues like this from happening in the future and to ensure that if future issues arise, they are identified and fixed quickly. Which, sure, that's the way it's supposed to be. While these issues have impacted a small person, I hate when they do that. Because if you're one of those people, you could give a damn if you're a small percentage. While these issues have impacted a small percentage of the total appeals and dependency updates, it is unacceptable for even one veteran's benefits to be delayed due to technical issues. The VA secretary wrote. So it bothers me when they front load it like that. Although it's been a really small percentage. I mean, it's so minute and tiny, but you know what? Hey, even one is wrong. But just so you know, it's a really small, tiny percentage compared to stop trying to soften it. It doesn't work. It's irritating is what that is. You shouldn't even start with that. I don't care that it's a small percentage, and stop trying to soften the blow. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Don't do that. All right. The VA announced in September it was conducting a full review of all processing systems on its main website after discovering technical problems that may have delayed disability claims for tens of thousands of veterans. But don't worry, you're a small percentage. About 32,000 veterans submitted their disability compensation claims through va.gov, but the claims were never established in the system that processes them. VA said the issue has persisted since 2018. So there we have 5 years there. I do remember something going way back. So meanwhile, another 81,000 veterans and family members requests to add or remove, this is it, dependents on va.gov and its predecessor systems were not processed by the site, causing them to be overpaid, causing a debt, right? If you wonder how a VA debt occurs, here you go. So causing them to be overpaid or underpaid. Either way sucks. This issue dates back to 2011, 12 years ago. Subcommittee Chairwoman McCormack said many of these issues have gone undiscovered for years and that the current administration has been left holding the bag to fix them. Whatever. I don't care. Whose administration? It's the VA, and the VA needs to fix them. It's the department, right? No matter what administration is there, the department needs to have some ownership. So don't pass it around. It's the department, and it's every single secretary that's been there from 2011. All right. Many of these issues have gone undiscovered for years through multiple administrations and countless CIOs. You just happen to be in the seat when we found them and are left to answer all of the hard questions, McCormack told Delbene. In addition, VA told the committee in early November that it has been overpaying pensions to at least 9,900 veterans because of an inaccurate data from the Social Security Administration and a faulty process for veterans to self-report their income, which I talked about that before too, causing, again, debts. debts that now you owe the VA. So, moving on, Paul Shute, or something like that, all these names, VA's Deputy Undersecretary for Automated Benefits Delivery, told lawmakers a computer match between the systems at VA and Social Security Administration wasn't providing accurate income data and caused the pension issue. He said the issue has since been corrected. VA says all veterans who have been underpaid benefits because of the VA.gov issue will receive the full backdated benefits owed to them. In the case of veterans who were overpaid benefits, the department has stopped all debt collection efforts stemming from these IT errors. My question, right? Stopped doesn't mean forgiven. Okay? The department has stopped all debt collection efforts stemming from these IT errors. It doesn't say has forgiven all these. So I'm curious if they are meaning that they're forgiven, waived the debt, because those would have been nice words to see, that the department has waived or forgiven all the debt that has accumulated. But that's not how this sentence is written. It is written that they have stopped. And they will stop doing things at times until they figure out a way to move forward. So that's just another question. And it looks like we're going to wrap it up here with one final quotation. We're going to make sure that not only we make every single veteran whole who is affected by this issue, but any debts that were created as a result of any of these issues will not be incurred for those veterans. Okay? That's what Shute, S-H-U-T-E, said. Last name there, Paul Shute, or however you say it, shoot, I don't know. Paul, S-H-U-T-E, the VA's Deputy Undersecretary for Automated Benefits Delivery, in a quotation here, stated, "We are going to make sure that not only we make every single veteran whole who is affected by this issue, but any debts that were created as a result of any of these issues will not be incurred for those veterans." So, I'm curious which veterans, because there were debt collection efforts after the 10,000-ish pension overpayments. So the ones who were overpaid pension did receive letters saying that they were coming for their money. So then there was some pressure, and they said, hey, we're going to hold off on that for now. Not sure if it's been forgiven or not. So again, something you might want to include your representative, your congressional representative on, and maybe share that quotation from Paul Shute or Shutt or whatever the heck it is. All right, with that, we'll end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.